The truth is finally coming out about the rule-breaking parties held last year at Downing Street during lockdown. But a question many people have been asking is, why did it take so long for us to find out about it? We know that the Tory party and the country's lobby journalists are as close as heat to fire. Is it really plausible none of them knew about a party attended by dozens of staff? Dominic Cummings thinks the answer is no. He tweeted, "V unwise for Number 10 to lie about this, but PM set the course of lying on COVID in spring when he decided to start rewriting history, deny herd immunity plan, etc." He also says some lobby hacks were also at parties in the Number 10 flat, so trying to bury this story. Cummings has so far named no names, but we might like to speculate on who the most plausible candidates could be, what lobby hacks might have been there, or at least known about what went on. Now, we cannot confirm, I cannot here give you an exclusive where we know what journalist was there or what journalist did know, but we can go through some prime suspects. So the first one is James Forsyth. He is the political editor of The Spectator. He also happens to be married to, the now former spokesperson to the Prime Minister, Allegra Stratton. In the leaked clip that we've showed you a number of times on this show, she said she went home instead of staying at that secret party at Downing Street on the 18th of December. Did she go home to James? It was a lockdown after all. We can imagine he was probably there. And how good is she at keeping secrets? When he said, "How was work today?" did she decline to say that as she left, there was a party going on? Another person of interest is James Slack. Slack is currently deputy editor at The Sun, but at the time of the party, he was working at Number 10 as a spokesperson to the Prime Minister. In the wake of the leaked Stratton clip, Slack's newspaper did mention a secret party. However, as you can see in the top right corner, it wasn't one held in Number 10, but rather a party put on by the Rolling Stones in memory of their late drummer. So The Sun is completely ignoring this story, and the deputy editor of The Sun was an advisor to Boris Johnson at the time the party took place. That's rather suspicious to me. Another paper which suspiciously ignored the biggest story of the day was The Telegraph. That's Boris Johnson's former employer. So as you can see here, the story doesn't appear anywhere on the front page. They don't think this is remotely of note to their readership. And to see how striking this is, to see how suspicious it is worth contrasting The Telegraph and The Sun to the front pages of other newspapers this morning. So on the front page of The Mail, you can see a sick joke. That's how they have responded to that clip of Allegra Stratton. From the Metro, you can see Number 10 party clowns, again, leading with that image of Allegra Stratton. And then we also have a front page from The Guardian. So you can see PM accused of lying after Number 10 team filmed joking about party. It seems likely some hacks kept these parties under wraps, but will we ever know who?
Does it even matter? Because this isn't the fault of, it is, there obviously is accountability to be had, but the way that the media is structured is that, if one person with this kind of attitude, one person who views journalism not as a chance to hold truth to power, but a chance to actually be close to and friendly with the powerful, though there is a long line of people waiting to take that spot. That is the modus operandi of being a major British journalist as it stands. And that's something that's happened over a really long period of time. I would say that, the Murdochification of the press has inculcated this kind of relationship, both here and across the pond. I think we were there was never a perfect time where the press was perfectly good at holding the power to account. But I would say when we had more diverse media in terms of geography, when we relied more on local newspapers, there was a little bit more of a loose leash. there was a bit more of a tradition of doing that kind of investigative journalism. But the structure of the media, not only through the way in which power is being sort of expressed in the way in which the schmoozing between government and media figures take place, but also the structure of the media in that we have much less investment in investigative reporting, in critical reporting. We see journalists that have a critical eye being repeatedly punished, even if they do manage to get to those major outlets. We'd still see them getting a really rough end of the deal and getting punished for trying to be critical of the government and to be critical of the establishment. But it's also because the structure of our media means that we are much more invested in kind of exclusives and viral media and this kind of this type of relationship, that this type of media and scoops that rely on having that very cushy relationship with the government, rather than, as I said before, more investigative pieces. And that's due to how our media is being funded. It's due to the funding models and the distribution models of our media. But it makes me think that, this is a much deeper systemic problem, rather than something that is just about digging out some bad apples. The whole tree is rotten when it comes to the way that the British media operate.
I'm so desperate for someone to reveal who these journalists are, because I agree with you. Structurally, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's clear some people are in the know. Our sort of broader structural critique of the relationship between government and media, I think we can have that without knowing precisely who was there. But I would love to see some of them humiliated by being at this party. It's that one party you really don't want to be pictured at. No one wants to have their photo taken at the Downing Street party. It's like when someone shares on Twitter, Peter Mandelson standing next to Jeffrey Epstein or something like that. This is not to imply they're pedos. Let's be clear. I'm just saying you don't want to be pictured at that party.